And so that basically puts us live. We are now on session 6 of the Thassilonian Resurgence Adventure Path. We have most of the people on Skype today, which is why half the window is covered up with a Skype window. And at the table today we have Jeremy. If he remembers who he's playing, because it has been a while.
Evening all, yes. This evening playing Cordar, a half-elf Pathfinder Society. It is Pathfinder Society, isn't it? Yeah.
It is Pathfinder Society.
Pathfinder Society Aspirant. Currently undergoing testing procedures with some other fellow aspirants.
Yep.
Normally it's a big tough guy with a big sword and a big shield.
And we currently have a bunch of galahs in the backyard watching us. Usually we have, I think it's 6 galahs in the backyard. Okay, so people we have online are Susie. You want to introduce yourself, Susie?
Sure. I'm playing Nexa, who's a half-orc human barbarian. I am the unexpected leader of the group and starting to find my footing, maybe?
Okay, so next person we have is Ethan.
Hi, I'm playing Thane Steelfire, who's a rock dwarf tinkerer and just mainly in the back playing with his little dog called Cobalt.
It's a wolf.
It's a puppy.
Same thing.
Stop asking for a dog.
Okay, and the next one we have online is Victor.
Yep. I am Kagasiro. That's a druid. Kagasiro of the Wild. I am a Pathfinder Aspirant, as the others. And I am kinda warming up and getting used to society. So my character is like a little bit shy. And that's it for now.
Okay, so I'm going to do a recap on what's been happening. Helps that I actually have most of it in my head, and I have all the stories you're doing on my computer. So let's see. The first thing is your characters are spending 2 weeks going through testing to become Pathfinder members. There are many ranks of the Pathfinder Society, and the first thing you need to do is become trainees, which you get once you finish being an aspirant. So is that Jeremy's character?
Yeah, I hit the share screen button, so...
You wanted to see what would happen?
That's right.
Well, hey, we can see what you've done.
So we can change it back again now.
So the idea is Pathfinders allow people to attempt once to become a Pathfinder Society member, and that's once in their lifetime. So those who fail wash out and can't join the ranks later. So you guys have spent 3 years training to become Pathfinders, and on your first of 3 days you're being sent off for, you went and met with the Snazi faction, which dealt with breaking into a warehouse on the docks, with the Aspirant faction, which was a puzzle room, with the Shellyak faction, which was all about recovering a artifact from an imp and dealing with the Mistress of Seduction. Some less successful than others. There was also the Silver Crusade dealing with the orphanage. There was with the Grand Lodge in the ability to work as a team. And lastly, there was the Shadow Lodge dealing with overwhelming odds. So that was the first day of testing for you. Then you got some downtime of a week, and during that week you went out and bought some fancy clothes to go to a ball at the TN estate. So while at the TN estate, you were given 3 more quests to do. First quest was to recover a Jade Katana. Second quest was to recover trade agreements. And third quest was to eradicate all undead you come across. And so the characters went by boat after signing an agreement to do all this. Though the agreement was for the trade packs, not for anything else. And you found yourself at a keep on the edge of the island Absalon is on the edge of. And so going in there, you met with a ghoul, treated with her and had her follow you around. Not being particularly helpful to you. And while doing so, you came across a bunch of kobolds which you defeated. One of them had the Jade Katana. And you hadn't found a huge amount beyond that. There are a lot of other things that you hadn't had a chance to do.
We haven't found the trade documents yet. I thought that we'd come up with
You found one document
right
with the katana.
Right, yep.
And that one was written in 2 languages. Not that anyone could read those languages. Sort of showcasing how language is important in the society.
Yep.
Everyone picking the same language doesn't always help.
If it was 2 languages, then potentially it was a trade agreement of some sort.
You did recognise one of them having the TN seal on it, and the other one having the Qadira seal on it.
Mm-hmm.
So after this, while you were exploring, you had a discussion with the ghoul, at which point the ghoul told you you had finished the quest and she was just here to journal your actions, and then she left. And you decided to stick it out and continue exploring even though you were told that you had failed the mission.
Okay. Because we still had some of the documents to find, on the idea that, okay, yes, any further judgment won't occur, but possibly if we come back with the documents, that's better than empty-handed. So we're looking at.
So are we still in the?
We're still in the house or whatever dungeon.
You are. I shall bring up the map for you.
Yep.
So if you can see on the map, we have Cordar there. We have Nexa there.
I can't see anything at the moment.
Yeah, me too.
Can you see on the the Skype window's dropped down, so someone else had done the screen sharing. Okay, let's see if I can bring that back.
I think we have Jeremy to thank for that.
Oh, I think it had dropped out before then.
Fair enough.
Okay, let's see. There we go. We'll use that one. That better?
Yeah.
Okay, so there we have Cordar.
Can you make that window bigger at all, or not really?
I can make that little window bigger.
I might just drop out of the Skype just because it could probably interfere with things, or I might push the wrong button again.
And that's the people who we had walking through the dungeon. So,
Although Pinwinkle's waiting outside to make sure the ghoul doesn't come back in to annoy us.
and yes, we had Victor outside.
Kangasero's come in.
And you had some people who went outside.
We don't have access to that D20 campaign, right? From here.
We don't have... Could you repeat that, Victor?
We don't have access to D20 remotely, right?
The D20 Pro?
Yep.
It is possible, but there are a few hiccups because networking isn't my friend at the moment. My computer likes to deny access to even me half the time.
Yeah, keep it like this. No problem.
But that's right. We'll trust people to roll the dice. Or at least
Alright.
we did last night anyway.
We did. And we had quite a few people go, I roll a 1 and I re-roll and I roll a 1.
We all got a few 20s too, so it's balanced out.
It's always amusing that in a critical point when they roll a 1. It always makes you laugh. Okay, so we have people have been wandering through this dungeon. I will send out some characters, so we've only got the who's here today inside.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. We don't need the rat.
Ripper Chip's not here.
We don't need the So you hadn't actually fully explored this area as well.
I was about to say, so at this stage we had a set of stairs going downwards
That were
that we haven't looked at, and is that a couple of doors there we haven't actually looked at yet?
There are a couple of doors you hadn't looked at yet.
Yep.
So we killed off the slime thing, right? So
You did?
what was at the end of that corridor? Was there something at the very end?
Yes, there was. There was a, if I can bring up the description of it. Just got to connect it to the map so I can actually see what I'm looking at. Let's see. So it was that room and okay. So at the end of the corridor, sits a sinister-looking fountain in a rounded alcove. A four-headed hydra displayed in cross formation protrudes from the middle of the rounded wall. The hydra's heads all face down the hallway. Its top head mouth is firmly shut, its socketed eyes stare darkly down the corridor. And its head fin is flared and up. The other three heads have toothy mouths open wide and reclined head fins. They obviously serve as some sort of spouts for a fountain. And just below the mouth is a ceramic basin. But the basin looks like it's been dry for many centuries.
How old is this building? Or this tower, this dungeon?
Well,
Do we recognize anything about it?
Epsilon itself is nearly 2,000 years old.
Yeah. And this is an underground location, it's not a building, isn't it? Yeah. Okay.
It was part of a keep built to assault Epsilon.
Right. Yeah. And we went past a couple of doors to get to that fountain, did we?
Yes,
is that
you
right?
did.
Yep.
Can I go have a look at the door on the left, but like cautiously walk up?
You can. Okay, cautiously walk up. Okay, so, and just so you know, you currently are 19 out of 22 hit points.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even remember how many hit points I had.
Kanga hasn't actually been hurt in this day. He's had a whole week's downtime.
So he's at full health.
What am I in again?
Ethan, you are on... Well, technically, considering I don't have your hit point total, I've got you down as 1 of 1.
That's enough, isn't it?
Mine's 22.
You're at full health.
Okay, so I need to change that. So I will fix that for you now.
Yep, and Cobalt is 14.
I got Cobalt, but I just didn't have you.
Oh, of course.
Apparently the wolf was more important.
Is there any reason for Kaga is outside?
Give me a moment. How many hit points did Ethan's character have?
22.
22, okay.
Kanga was outside because he hadn't come in yet because you weren't here. So we basically had people who weren't here were keeping the exit safe.
Alright. So
So you'll be back in with us now because we've just sent a couple people out. So,
People were guarding the entrance when they weren't here.
Cordar will go up and watch whoever it is looking at the door.
And so
Next
Corda should be on 15 out of 19.
15 out of 19, yep.
Yeah. I would show you the birds flying outside. It's just quite amusing how many of them decided to come here at this late night. Okay, so
And his shield is on 10 out of 12.
who's on 10 out of 12?
His shield.
Your shield.
Because he used it to block one time, so
So it takes damage from it?
he takes some damage out. Like it basically, if I use the shield block, it blocks 3 points of damage, and any damage left over gets shared between the two of us.
And is it considered broken?
At 6.
At 6.
When it gets down to 6, it'll be broken.
Okay.
So,
It's just getting used to the changes in the
yeah.
rules.
No, so I was just looking it up before thinking, I'm sure I had something there, and then I found a spot where I could put the notes into the shield, so therefore it would be remembered. But it also, I also looked at the repair actions so it's not that hard to repair, so when we get out of here I should be able to put it back to new again.
It's just not something you repair while you're running around a dungeon.
Potentially you can, it only takes 10 minutes action. To chuck it on the portable anvil that I've got in my pack and bang it, apparently.
Do you have a portable anvil?
It's part of the repair kit that fits in there. So, apparently it comes with a portable anvil. I thought, okay. So, and the
Okay, so
and yes, the bulk is still only 1. So so Nexar is having a look at the door.
Yep. Give me a perception roll for Nexa.
hope anything goes bad.
Nothing could go bad.
Well, there is one re-roll available to the group.
What could possibly go wrong?
19. So 19 plus 25.
25. Okay, so you listen in on stuff there, and give me a sec. One of my cameras has decided to freeze.
So apparently my cat likes my dice.
They often do.
Yeah, cats do love dice.
She's now sitting at me looking expectantly like I'm playing a game with her.
Mm-hmm.
We had a cat on last night who wouldn't allow the player to roll.
Or at least not to read the dice before it actually stopped anyway.
Tried running off the dice too.
Yeah, I tried to play Catan on the floor before. It didn't go well.
Okay, so you hear the sound of skittering coming from the other side of the door.
Like big things or little things?
Fairly big things.
Well, since we've already met some rats and stuff in
Though
this.
I may have just killed the recording, so I may have to restart.
Because we met some rats and stuff previously in this building, didn't we? Like
Yeah.
we come across rats elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm just trying to fix this here.
Yeah, that's right.
Because one of the cameras was frozen, so I tried to fix it. That's not looking so good on this end.
Yeah, I think we have a problem, and it may have to be restarted.
Alright, I will quick pick up some food and come back.
Yep,
Be right back.
all good. Okay, so let's see.